Let me ask you a question that will follow you for the rest of your life. What is the value of one thought? Not 1,000, not 1,000,000, just one. History will answer that for you. One thought led Thomas Edison through 10,000 failures until light poured from a filament. One thought drove Henry Ford to break the rules of industry and give the common man a car. One thought made Andrew Carnegie not only a steel magnet, but the blueprint for generational wealth. And one thought, one single electrified thought, made Napoleon Hill chase a 20-year journey to reveal what you now hold in your hands. Yes, thoughts are things, not air, not theory, but forces. And today, you begin your apprenticeship in mastering those forces. Let's burn this into your spirit. You are not poor because of your environment. You are not stuck because of your past. You are where you are because of the quality of your thoughts. It's time to upgrade your internal economy, because wealth is not something you chase. It is something you attract by who you become. This is the law, immutable, timeless, ruthless, and it begins in the mind. Napoleon Hill did not write a book on finance. He wrote a scripture for mental dominion. His thesis was not make money. It was become a man whose thoughts command wealth. Every man wants riches. Few are willing to take this furnace route to reforge their beliefs, their self-concept, their mental habits into the kind of steel that holds abundance. But you are not here for feel-good phrases. You are here to build a mind that multiplies value. So we start with this. Your mind is the most powerful bank you will ever own. And right now, some of you are spiritually bankrupt, overdrawn in doubt, in debt to comparison, paying interest on fear. But no more. Today, you awaken the banker within. You take account of every thought you deposit. You audit your internal dialogue like a master of industry. Because if you don't dominate your thoughts, they will bankrupt your destiny. Let me paint a picture. Imagine you walk into a vault, massive, echoing, walls lined with gold, silver, bonds, securities, but they are not yours yet. A sign on the door reads, "Access granted only to the one who believes." Not wishes, not hopes, believes. This is the key Napoleon Hill screamed from every page of his book. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Let me repeat that with fire. Not just conceive, not just believe. Conceive and believe. Your imagination builds the blueprint. Your faith lays the bricks. And if either is weak, the house collapses. Think about it. Every invention, every empire, every revolution began in the unseen. Before the iPhone was a device, it was a thought in Steve Jobs' relentless mind. Before Tesla was a company, it was an idea Elon Musk obsessed over. Before Rockefeller owned the oil fields, he visualized control. So let me ask you again, what are you thinking about today? Because it's either a ladder or a leash. Now let's get real. This isn't about empty affirmations or law of attraction fantasies. This is about mental work, the kind most men run from. It's about training your mind like a Spartan warrior trains for battle. Every thought is a rep. Every repetition builds strength. Every belief becomes armor or a chain. When you wake up, what's the first thing your mind tells you? I can't. I'm tired. I don't know how. I'm behind. I'm not ready. These are not thoughts. They are viruses, mental malware, and they must be eradicated. From this moment on, you must declare war on every thought that does not align with your purpose. Say this with me. I will no longer think poor and expect to live rich. My thoughts are my seed. I will only plant what I intend to harvest. Let's go deeper. You are not just building thoughts. You are building emotionalized thoughts. Napoleon Hill emphasized this more than once. The emotion of faith, love, and sex are the most powerful of all major positive emotions. This is why simply repeating words won't change your life. You must feel them, infuse them, live them. When you say I'm wealthy, it cannot be a hollow whisper. It must shake your nervous system. You must feel like a man who already has it. Because the subconscious does not obey what you want. It obeys what you feel with certainty. That's why poverty is so persistent. Not because of lack, but because of belief systems soaked in emotion. You were taught lack. You felt it. You absorbed it. Now you must unlearn it with the same intensity. Affirmations must become activations. Visualizations must become visceral. Imagination must be paired with unshakable faith. This is the modern weapon Hill gave us. Do you want to know how Andrew Carnegie mentored Hill? He didn't teach him business. He taught him mental architecture. Carnegie said, any idea that is held in the mind, emphasized, feared, or revered will begin to clothe itself in the most convenient and appropriate physical form available. That's not theory. That's physics of thought. So again, what ideas are you holding? Are they rich or poor? Constructive or corrosive? Your mind is a factory. The raw material is your focus. The output, your future. Now listen carefully. This is the most important shift. You don't just have thoughts. You become them. Say it. I become what I think about. This is not new. Nightingale called it the strangest secret. Jesus called it, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Modern neuroscience now proves it. Your brain literally rewires based on repetitive thought. Neurons that fire together, wire together. So every time you think, I can't, you are laying concrete in your prison. But every time you think, I will, you are carving the staircase to your summit. The choice is yours. Here's your assignment, your first act of war in the battlefield of the mind. For 21 days, track every thought that contradicts your vision, every self-doubt, every excuse, every limiting belief. Write it, destroy it, replace it. Then speak aloud the opposite belief with full force, multiple times a day. This is not motivation, it is mental reprogramming. Because until you rewire your mind, you will repeat your past. And here is your battle cry. I am not a victim of circumstance. I am a steward of thought. I plant wealth, so I will reap wealth. I do not think small. I think rich. Say it again, louder. Because one thought backed by belief, expressed in emotion, and acted upon with obsession can change everything. There is a reason the book is called Think and Grow Rich, not Work Hard and Grow Rich. Not wait and grow rich. Not even wish and grow rich. Think, because thought is the genesis, the spark, the blueprint, the code. You are the architect of your fate, the engineer of your reality, the banker of your eternal wealth. Mind is the furnace, desire is the fuel, faith is the flame, and action is the spark. So today, the old mind dies, the passive mind, the broke mind, the small apologetic mind, and in its place rises the sovereign thinker, a man who understands that riches begin in silence, in solitude, in imagination, in one focused, fierce, unstoppable thought. From now on, when you walk, think, speak, act, let this be your internal creed. My thoughts build empires. My mind attracts abundance. I no longer rent space to fear. I think rich, and so I shall become.